All right. Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here. Um, you have joined me on Unpack This, the podcast where we slow down, we tell the truth, and the reality is we unpack things that we've been carrying silently. That's right. I think some of you know what I'm talking about. Hey, I'm your host, Gloria Bailey Ray, the Authentic Coach. And because I believe that authenticity, get this, is not just a trait, but in fact, it's a necessity. So this show is for women, of course, men as well, but for women who are tired of overextending, tired of shrinking, and tired of pretending everything is fine. Here at Unpack This, we unpack relationships, career challenges, emotional boundaries, self worth, and the moments in life when you realize something has to change. That's right. So, take a breath, get comfortable, and prepare for conversations that are honest, healing, and empowering. Let's unpack this together. Today, we are unpacking something women do far too often. We fall in love with the possibility of a person, and then we call it commitment, loyalty, patience, or grace. But sometimes, ladies, it really and truly was, and I'm going to call it like I see it, it was just projection. So let's tell the truth today, right? You didn't love him, you loved what you thought life could look like if he got it together. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, you were focused on what it could be if he got it together. You love the man he might, and I say that in quotes, he might become, the husband that he might grow into. How about the partner he almost was? Look, and if you're feeling this, type a comment, give me a shout out, right? How about you're in love with the apology that he almost gave, or the consistency he almost showed? But let me just say this right now. Again, the Authentic Coach, I just need to say this. Almost is not love. Look, stick a pin in it. Almost is not love. And potential is not a relationship, ladies. Come on now. You know, let me transition to just talking with you a little bit about real communication. Let me start there. Real communication. See, a lot of people don't enter relationships healed. Whew, I know, I know it's tight, but it's right. A lot of people enter relationships, they're not healed. They enter relationships hopeful, right? They move from one person to the next without processing the emotional wreckage from the last relationship. That's real. It's real. It happens all the time, more than we even want to admit, right? So now what happens, this new person is not just a person, what has happened, they've become a rescue plan, a do-over. And, you know, I could say that, a second chance. This is a place to pull or to put all the love, all of the disappointment, all of the fear, and yes, fantasy that you never healed from. Baby, let me say this. And because they look good, smell good, they smile right, and of course, you ladies know y'all love it. They have swag. They say the right thing at the right time. Here's what happens. The realistic brain gets quiet, and the fantasy brain, it takes over. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we're talking about you didn't love him, you loved your potential with him. So, with that being said, let me just break down the truth, because projection actually sounds like this. He has so much potential. How many times have you heard that? Have you told yourself that? Have your girlfriends told you that, right? Um, Another one is he just needs the right woman. Oh, come on, y'all. Um, and when I think about it, here's another one that I would hear at times. He's been hurt before, like you haven't, right? Or he's not used to being loved, especially not like this. Or I see the real him. Mm-mm. No, no. You see what he could become if he chose to do the work, right? And I'm just calling it out. I'm just being real. It's the hard truth that you got to face. See, you cannot keep building. Hear me when I say this. You cannot keep building a relationship with somebody's possibility while ignoring their pattern. Right. Because patterns tells the truth. Not charm, not chemistry, not the good morning texts or the late night vulnerability. I'm talking patterns, ladies, patterns. Let's do a reality check. Some of you weren't in love. You were just emotionally invested. And there is a difference. Love sees clearly. Emotional investment says, I've already given too much to walk away now. I know he can be better. I don't want another woman to get the version of him I helped build. Even saying that, again, I tell you, I'm talking to you from a life I've lived. As the authentic coach, I've been there, done that. And certainly I can relate to this. Not wanting another woman to get the version of him that you helped build. Or how about this one? I've waited this long, so maybe I should wait a little longer, right? Ladies, that's not love. That's attachment. That's fear. That's emotional debt. That's really and truly what it is. And look, let me just give you the gut punch, because here's where it gets real. You're not just loving him, you were actually trying to prove something through him. Mm. You were trying to prove that you were lovable, that you could be chosen, that your patience would be rewarded, that your loyalty would finally make somebody stay. But baby, you should not have to suffer to be selected. Again, I just say, I know it's tight, but it's right what I'm saying. This women's series, The Unlearning, this topic, you didn't love him, you just loved the potential with him. Listen, this is exactly what I talk about in when to get up from the table when love is not being served, right? Keep it in mind, that's a metaphor, because sometimes the table is not empty because love never showed up. Come on now. But sometimes the table is empty because you kept serving someone who only knew how to take. And at some point, you have to stop asking, who could he become? And start asking, who is he consistently showing himself to be? Come on, ladies. Come on. I know you feel me. And this is here on Unpack This. This is about being honest. So let's be honest here. Let's be honest as we unpack this topic. Walking away hurts because you're not just leaving him, but you're leaving the wedding you imagined. You are leaving the home you pictured. You are leaving the trips you planned in your mind. That's right. And then there's the family vision. You're leaving the healed version of him, the woman you thought you would become beside him. And all of that, what it comes out to be is that's why it feels like grief. Because you're not just grieving the relationship, you are grieving the fantasy. That's right. And that's real. That is real. And again, we talk about honesty, authenticity. Here's where you just got to just take a long look at yourself and look at where you are. This is about helping you, right? And if you really want to know, well, what's the resolution to all of this, right? Coach, what are you saying? Well, what I'm saying is this: love requires reality, not imagination. Let that sit with you. Love requires reality, not imagination. Love requires reality and not potential. Love requires reality, not one day, not when he heals, right? Not, and this is the piece where a lot of us ladies fool ourselves, after he gets himself together. I'm talking reality. Get real with yourself. this is the real deal, right? Who is he now? Let me ask you this. Does his presence bring peace or does it bring confusion? Mm, that's one of those that make you say, let me think about that. Right? And it shouldn't be any thinking involved because you already know the answer, right? Does his love require you to shrink, to wait, to beg, to explain? Or how about even keep proving yourself? Because I'm going to say this, love that keeps you auditioning, because that's what you're doing, is not love. When you reflect on all of these things, ladies, that I just shared with you, you know what? If his love requires you to shrink, to wait, to beg, to explain, keep proving yourself over and over, you are auditioning. And no way, shape, form, or fashion, that's not love. Just simply isn't. It's not love. All right. So today I want you to do this. I want you to ask yourself, here it comes. Am I in love with this person or am I attached to what I hoped this person would become? Just said, ask yourself because it's between you, yourself, you know, right? Ask yourself, am I choosing reality or am I dating a vision? And if this hits you in the chest, I'm just going to say, don't run from it. You got to sit with it. That's right. Sit with it because that truth may be the beginning of your freedom. That's right. The beginning. And this is why I do what I do. It's about us being free, feeling light, knowing yourself. Okay? So today, this is what we unpacked. You didn't love him. You loved your potential with him. Right? You fell in love with the story. You love the vision. Um, you love this version that kept almost showing up. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see glimpses of it and you keep hoping, oh, I see more of that because I really liked that piece. But at best, it's sporadic, right? And on top of that, what you need, and you need to be honest with yourself, is you need consistency, right? And you need to deal in the realm of reality. You need to choose reality over potential. See, you stop settling for almost. Look, I'm here to tell you, almost doesn't take you where you need to be. He almost got it right. He almost has become the man I've been hoping for. And some of you have been sitting in relationships for 2, 3, 5, 10 years with that in your head. that if I just hang in here, this is what could be, the possibility of what could be. And I just want to tell you, the whole time you're sitting there, you have let your life pass you by. You have been holding on to something that was never going to materialize into anything. And if it does, you've heard that saying, if it's meant to be, you let it go. If it's meant to be, it'll come back to you. But it has to come back to you fully, whole, and intact, right? Some of you are worrying about what somebody else may get. But I just here's what I want you to carry with you into the rest of your day, into the rest of this week. This is what I want you to carry with you. You are worthy of a love that feels like nourishment. It just feels good to your soul, right? You deserve connections that honor your spirit. Oh, come on, I can't say that enough, right? And I need you to know that you are powerful enough to walk away from anything. Hear me when I say that, anything, that's in caps, that does not serve you. That's right. Not because you're giving up, right? But here's the caveat, because you're choosing you. You're choosing yourself. Ladies, it's time out for you putting everything and everybody above you. That's why you got to choose yourself. That's what's important. I always say this. If this message resonated with you, download it. The download is available tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's on all of the top podcast platforms. And more importantly, save it, share it, play it over and over. I thank you, for being here, right? For supporting this work. It's important work. And I want to thank you for allowing me into your journey of becoming stronger, wiser, and unapologetically authentic. That's real, ladies. So until this time, next week, keep unpacking. And remember this. Authenticity is your superpower. That is real. And I am the Authentic Coach. Be well, stay blessed. Peace.